out there for the number of people that are coming here. So if you can carpool, that would be great. If you could park over at Central, take a shuttle bus over, that would be wonderful. Whatever you can do to reduce traffic and make your night a bit easier. We start open house at 6:30, but people start getting here at 5:30, so please get here a bit early so you can park. Again, if you can't find parking here, please go over to Central, take the shuttle bus here, which I believe it runs on a half hour. So the important piece too is on Wednesday we have an advisor base, like homeroom advisor base, and we're going to have your children fill out their schedules there and bring them home like we used to in middle school. So look for something coming home to you on Wednesday afternoon, hopefully. But if it doesn't, you have a blank schedule, they can fill it in. And we have guides all around the building that night to help you find classrooms. And we have a number of adults that will be out and around helping you as well. So just remember what house you're in, and that's the key. So if you don't have a schedule, we'll tell you to go to such and such a house, but you have to know what your house is. So please know that before you even walk in the door. What else? Open house is a time for us to get a general idea of what's going to be taught in the class. All of our curriculum is posted online, so you can see our curriculum. It's not hard to find. It's on our website, and also they should give you a grading rationale on Thursday night. And they also, the more important thing is how to best communicate with the teacher. That is also a key to Thursday night. If you get those three things on Thursday night, it's a win. If you get the parking space that's behind the school, it's a home run. So all those things are very important about Thursday in the open house. Okay, so off of open house, I'll speak again at open house, but I also want to speak about what's happened so far this year with our children and how they're doing, and they seem to be adjusting extremely well to our high school. We have had a class meeting, and I want to tell you what I told them at our class meeting when the freshmen came to that the half-day orientation. I told them make connections. Mrs. Foster will speak about that later on in the program, but make a connection to this school. Students that make connections to this school do extremely well in their academic program. Any kind of connection, a sports connection, a club connection with a trusted adult in this building. Those connections will take you where you want to go. That's being very successful at this school and then on to some type of post-secondary education. I'm a graduate of this school. My 4 children are graduates of this high school. So I can't tell you what this school has done for my family, but you're going to find out what it's going to do for your family as you move through the grades and then off to college and beyond. I have 2 teachers, a nurse, and the 4th one's still trying to figure it out, but she'll get there. So off we go. So tonight I have a number of speakers, because I'm not doing this by myself. But I have 2 young men from student government. Gabe, are you? You want to come up here? I have the president of student government and the president of the senior class. They're going to just talk to you a little bit about what made them successful here at Greenwich High School.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Greenwich High School. I am Joel Molina, the senior class president. I'm part of the student government program here at GDCS. I would like to start off by saying congratulations and thank you for choosing Greenwich High School as your children's home for the next 4 years. Freshmen this year have a lot to look forward to. GHS is full of opportunities, memories, and experiences waiting to be made. What makes GHS one of the best high schools is there's something out there for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're into purely academics, the arts, athletics, or even just clubs. Your children will find a place here. Greenwich High School offers over 120 club activities that make constant impact on this community, 42 seasonal varsity sports that have won over 392 champion titles over the years, and a multitude of programs for students to find their place. However, if they don't find one thing that they're looking for, they could always just create their own. I'm living proof of such triumphs. When I look back at my time here, I can wholeheartedly say that the opportunities provided at GHS have shaped me into the young adult I am today. My first extracurricular activity I joined at GHS was student government, in which I was named the freshman class vice president. Not only have I stayed committed to student government, as it became my favorite extracurricular activity. Sorry. I saw myself branching out in ways I had never done before. I have played on sports team, managed athletics, and even led clubs of my own. Each one of these experiences have given me skills, new friends, and a deeper sense of connection and belonging to this school community. With this I say, my biggest piece of advice for your children, the class of 2029, take advantage of what's provided here. The school is vast in size, with opportunities and in a literal sense. Saying yes to the unfamiliar is part of the experience because you never know if you might bring your next passion. I'm so excited to see what your children are going to accomplish over the next 4 years. Welcome to GHS.
Good evening and welcome, parents. I'm Gabriel Leza, the current student body president here at the high school. And on behalf of student government and the student body as a whole, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you all to GHS. I'm very excited to welcome you to the building that your kids will have an unforgettable 4 years at in the transitional stage, which is high school. As large as the building looks, though, it does not feel nearly as daunting. I've been able to make it from the science wing all the way to the other side in less than 4 minutes. Within a few weeks, I can assure you all that the new 9th graders will begin to fit right in and see what it truly means to be a Cardinal. Now, before I actually share my advice, I'll tell you a little bit about the foundation of the GHS experience. 350 courses, 32 AP classes with 4.25 average score versus a 3.12 national. 563 AP scholars, 42 varsity teams, 125 sports, a really great student government, 50 students recognized by the National Merit Scholar Program, and too many state, national, and international awards to count. Whatever it is your student wants to do here at GHS, they can. Now, I remember my first days here as a freshman. I'd take out my paper schedule and I would ask any person who looked older than me where the 3-digit room number was. Believe it or not, these numbers quickly came to make sense, as did much of the high school as time went on. So, what are the best parts of GHS? 1, teachers. These people quickly become some of the greatest supporters of my career. 2, clubs. I truly encourage joining clubs. It was one of the greatest decisions I ever made, and luckily, this place is 125. 3rd, challenge. We're challenged to work hard and to use all the resources here to the fullest of their potential. And lastly, encourage new 9th graders to ask for help. High school is far from a solo journey, and doing it with people makes it worth it. And so maybe these things seem awkward at first, as I remember it being. But times like that just make the best stories, as I'm sure many of you remember. So thank you for the opportunity to speak, and really encourage your kids to join some clubs. Student government in particular, but your choice.
I want to thank Gabe and Joel for coming out tonight. I know they have a lot of work to do, and they have been speaking to parents since we began the school year, so I want to thank them both again, and go home and do your work now, okay? Okay, and asking for help. Thank you. Asking for help is probably, and that's one of the things I said to the students, aside from making connections, was how important it was to learn the skill of asking for help. Some students think it's a sign of weakness, or they're shy or whatever, but we have to get them over that, because asking for help is a lifetime skill. After, well, how many years in education do I have? I still call, the situations still come up that I've never encountered, and I'll call, maybe I'll call the superintendent, maybe I'll call another building principal, or I'll call one of the house administrators here and say, hey, you ever come across this before? So I'm asking for help, and it's, again, it's a lifetime skill. So, Gabe, thanks for bringing that up. Right now, we have our two amazing PTA presidents, and I'll let them do the honors.
Good evening, everyone. I'm John Fisher. I am the incoming PTA co-president, which just means that you'll be seeing me for the next 2 years. Like all of you, I'm a 9th grade parent, although I'm cheating on that because I'm also an 11th grade parent. So I've seen some of the test questions already. Congratulations to everyone for surviving the first few weeks at GHS. If you have not had any issues, raise your hand. A couple here, a few here, a bunch over there, okay? Just wait. If you have issues, remember the PTA is your secret weapon. The building layout is convoluted, buses and traffic are contorted, block schedule is confounding, the acronyms are confusing, but the PTA is here to help. We're also here to make things happen and to magically turn your PTA donations into academic enrichment, field trips, teacher grants, student center and Cardinal Cafe enhancements, gingerbread workshops, support for the student clubs, events for freshmen and sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and so much more. But we need parents' financial support to work that magic. And if you have time, we can really use your help on events and activities too. Just stop by the PTA tables, donate, sign up. With that, I am going to introduce the more experienced and wiser PTA co-president, Monica Huang.
Thank you. As you mentioned, I'm Monica Huang. I've had twins go through here. They just graduated, and they are now freshmen in college. I also have an 8th grader. She is at Eastern, and you may ask, why am I here? Basically, I'm here because we needed a transition, someone to kind of bring it together. I volunteered for it because I really do love this high school, and my daughter will be here next year. I have been through all the grades, and so we are here to be a resource, as John mentioned. I also want to give you a few more practical items here. For communication, we use Membership Toolkit. If you're in our database, you get our newsletters. That's also how you can sign up to volunteer. That's also how you can sign up to donate, and other things will come throughout the year. So please, please go on to Membership Toolkit. If you are from any of the middle schools, you're already used to it. If you're new to Greenwich Public Schools, then this is something please take a look at, and we're again here to help you. In terms of communication, you will see a PTA newsletter, Big Red News, every other Friday. And then on the other Fridays, Principal Mayo sends out his P-Link. So on Fridays, you will get either information from us or from them, and we do try to coordinate that. Also, I want to mention Sports U. All of the Greenwich High School athletic teams use Sports U. I also want to mention they each have booster clubs. So yes, there's a lot of donations being asked of you. We are separate as a PTA. All of our money does go back into academic field trips, in terms of curriculum enrichment, things for the classroom, school improvements. Booster clubs also need your support. So if you do have a child in any of the sports, just keep in mind that's also going on, and you will be communicated through Sports U. We've already covered this, but where do we spend our money? Field trips, we have many classes go to Broadway, they go to some of the museums. We have special speakers. In terms of teacher grants, last year we bought cameras, printers, iPads, calculators. A lot of people ask about the calculators. If your child forgets or loses their calculator, ask their teacher. There should be some extras that they can at least use for the day. In terms of school improvements, last year we bought a lot of fitness equipment. We bought some cardio machines. We bought weight training. It's an amazing fitness center now. It really has come a long way. It is open to all students, 2:30 to 4, and a lot of athletic teams on the off season go together, use it. It's just a great space for every student to be able to use. We also have redone the planters, which you will see when you go to the student center, and you see it at the open house. I just want to mention some upcoming events. Tomorrow morning we have a new Families Coffee. This is particularly for those who've moved to Greenwich or again are new to the Greenwich Public Schools. And then I just want to mention the college admission panel. You guys are a little early on that, but it is really interesting. College night, I do not recommend for 9th and 10th graders. It's really more for the 11th and 12th. And then you'll see we have a few more events, but you'll get information on this as the year goes along. And of course, funding, we do this through the membership drive. We will be here outside helping sign you guys up. We're selling college books, and we can also talk about volunteering if you want to ask any of us. We have sign-up sheets for various committees. And save the date for Summer Fair and Paint the Town Red. Paint the Town Red is a really fun parent party. So to save the date, we already have it booked, and it'll be a really fun time. Okay, that's it for me.
Well, I can thank both Monica and John for coming up here and speaking with you all. Our PTA is amazing. It's a collaboration between parents and administrators, and our PTA does such fine work, but it's not just buying things for the school. It's also volunteering here in the school. So if you're interested in volunteering at Greenwich High School, we'd love to have you, so please come. Our next speaker is Ms. Karen Foster, our Director of Student Activities. Karen.
Hello, everybody, and welcome again for coming tonight. So, as Mr. Mayo said, making connections is a very important thing, especially as a freshman. So I'm going to show you some ways to find out kind of what's going on in the school, how you can make connections. For those of you that do not know me, I'm the Director of Student Activities. Before I came here, I was a teacher at North Manus for over 20 years. I'm the one who, before school started, I sent the email out to the incoming freshmen to say, hey, here's a map of the school. Here are those 3-digit numbers that Joelle was talking about. Here's what they need. 100s are Bella, 200s are Clark. So I'm known as the lady who sends out all the emails. I send out way more emails to the kids than I do you guys, but you also get a lot. Okay, so I want to show you the school website, which might sound kind of silly. However, the website is your friend. The website is always also going to be your child's friend, and here's why. As they get to high school, there's not as much stuff sent out directly to the parents, and there is lots of stuff sent out to the students. However, a lot of it can be found on the website. So even if you don't receive a direct email about information, there is a way for you guys to find out, and it's also a way for you to help your students find out information. So I'm going to talk about the student life part of the website. So my parts of this are graduation, and then student activities, student parking, and then the working papers and volunteer opportunities. So I'm going to start off with student activities. And if you scroll down, you will see this page all about clubs and activities. We currently have over 125 clubs. In November, we start new club applications, so by the end of the year, we'll probably have close to 150 clubs. So there are 2 different lists here. One list just lists all the names and the contact info, the club advisor, the student leaders. We are starting to fill in when the clubs are meeting, and they're just finishing up getting that information to me. So you will see we have a long list of clubs. There's also a club description page down here that you can click on. It gives a brief description. What I always say to the students, if you're interested in joining a club, reach out to one of the student leaders, or just show up at one of their meeting dates. You don't need to sign up ahead of time. And the nice thing about our clubs is they're very fluid. So they can join halfway through the year, they can join at the end of the year. Sometimes people will say, I want to go to this club, but I do a winter sport. So they'll be active in the club in the fall, they'll be active in the club in the springtime, but they don't attend the meetings in the winter, and that is absolutely fine. So that's one really good way to make connections is through the clubs. Another thing that I want to show you, just because we have a deadline coming up, is student government. If your child is interested in student government, the deadlines for freshman elections for the applications are this Wednesday. The students have received all this information a couple weeks ago from Mr. Slocum, but they are due on Wednesday, so if they want to maybe be a class officer or a class representative, if they don't want such a leadership role. So please keep that in mind. Another thing on here that we talk about, that I get questions about, is the yearbook. So you can click here. We do have a yearbook. It is a club here. So we encourage anybody who might be interested in that to join there. You can also even start ordering your yearbook already. So I'll get questions like that. When can I order the yearbook? You can start ordering that now. Prom is out far. However, if you want to know the dates for this year, for next year, it's all on this website. School photos, again, this information has been emailed out to you, as well as your students. So the photos were taken, they're going to be returned to the students in October. If they were pre-ordered, you have till tomorrow to pre-order those pictures. If you don't order them, you'll get a proof where you can look at the picture, and if you would like to order them, you can. Those will all be distributed in October. The photographer will be back in November. That date is still to be determined. So they can do either retakes, or if they happen to miss photo day in September, they can take their photos then as well. But you'll see a lot of what I send out is also on the website. The other thing that I sent out, I believe yesterday, is lots of times I get questions about volunteering or community service hours. And students do it for a variety of reasons. There are two lists here. One is just an ongoing list of local groups that are always looking for volunteers. There's also one that says one-time volunteer opportunities that I add things to as local organizations are looking for what we call one-offs. Right? So, and I have one for I'm looking for volunteers at open houses to be those people kind of guiding the parents who need to know where they're going. So those are two great resources if your child is looking for community service hours or volunteering. The other thing I wanted to say is some things are not on here, like the PTA was talking earlier about the gingerbread houses. So that's a fun event that we started a few years ago. The junior class is going to sponsor a pumpkin decorating contest as well in October. So things like that your students will be receiving emails about. That's another fun, easy one-off thing to get involved in if they don't want to commit to a whole club or something like that. You can meet me. I will be here at open house as well. We do have a school store, so if you want to help your students show their school spirit, the school store will be open, so come early because you need to do that for parking. And you will see us. I'm at the other side of the school store, or in the student center when you arrive. So I'm hoping to see you guys around. Feel free to email me if you have any questions. Again, this website is a great resource for everyone, you and your students. Thank you.
Mrs. Foster is always looking for parent volunteers and student activities, and she's lovely to work for. So I've been working for her the last 7 years now. Our next speaker is Mr. Thomas Ferrer, our Dean of Student Life. Thomas.
I also work with Ms. Foster. It's fantastic. So that being said, the Office of Student Life and the Dean of Student Life is certainly unique to our high school. When you come on open house, if you've not been here, and the swath of individuals that you will see, this is a large high school, about 2,700 students, about 300 staff. So we are the most populous place in Greenwich, and we're running Monday through Friday. So enjoy open house. That being said, we do have the 5 houses. And don't worry, when you get into the student center, all the houses have signs. Folsom, Sheldon, so you know where you're going. The Dean of Student Life, I want you to think of them, myself, as the lead administrator for our social and emotional learning for our students. Your teachers do the academic portion, we kind of fill in the rest to make sure that we have a complete education for your students. And they do an excellent job when they leave here. And we've been told that when they're coming back from their collegiate experiences. So we focus on the entirety of that student experience. We also ensure a safe, supportive, and positive environment. And here are some of the key responsibilities. 1, we are collaborative. We work for the houses, we work with the houses. Each student will have a house for 4 years. Within that, they'll have their house administrator, their school counselor, their assistant dean, as well as access to school psychologists and social workers as well. So we certainly don't work in isolation. Your first point of contact if something's going on with your child is your house, so please make sure to reach out to them. Secondly, we foster a positive school climate. Culture. We like to be highly proactive and not reactive. We work to create an environment where problems are less likely to be arisen in the first place. So we use positive behavioral supports, restorative practices. We lead the effort where we focus on teaching and rewarding positive behavior rather than just punitive and negative actions. We support the students. We build strong, referred relationships. Be touted on and on. That's important. It's important for students to feel connected not just to the clubs, but to a trusted adult. I also help oversee Mrs. Foster, which is kind of ironic because I think she oversees me half the time for that, which is fantastic. But again, you saw just the amount of activities that students can be involved in, along with athletics too. It's just fantastic. It's nice to do it in the 4 years now, so when they get ready for their post-secondary options, they've gone through them. Okay. Obviously, one of the most visible roles that we have is ensuring student discipline and conduct. So please don't think anytime you receive a call from myself or an assistant dean that it's going to be negative in nature. Sometimes, unfortunately, it will be, but that being said too, we understand that students are going to make mistakes. Our goal is for that student not to make the same mistake over and over again. So we work with them while we do give out consequences. We also work with them to make sure that those consequences help to stick and we teach them for that. Okay? So welcome to Greenwich High School, and I will see you on Thursday.
Our next 2 guests are our school resource officers. Greenwich High School is lucky to have 2 Greenwich police officers stationed here every day of school that we meet. So they are members of our community. They are armed police officers though. So people sometimes get a little put off by the fact that they're carrying weapons, but they are Greenwich police officers. So part of their uniform is to carry a weapon, right? They are integrated. They have integrated themselves very well into the school. They are a great resource for the kids. They're a great resource for you as well. And they both have coached at one time or another. Mr. Rice was one of our wrestling coaches for a while there. Mr. Wallace, he's coaching some kind of track. I don't know if he's out there today. I don't know what he coaches anymore. But they have been wonderful additions to the school. And here we go. Fred?
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayo. Hi, everyone. I'm Officer Fred Reich. As you can tell, we are certified police officers, and we are here to be with your kids Monday through Friday as the school year progresses, and we're going to be here as they go from 9th grade all the way up to 12th. So I'm going to hand over.
Hi everyone, so my name is also Chris Wallace. Everyone just calls me Wally, so please don't call me Chris. I won't answer you because everyone calls me Wally. So I'll kind of tell you what we're not, and then go into like a little bit more of what we do here. So we are not just 2 random police officers that they threw into the school to arrest every kid and get every kid in trouble. That is what we are not. All right, we're here as a resource for you and for your children. We understand as police officers we do have to enforce the law, so maybe sometimes our interactions might not be on a positive note. However, our goal at the end of the day is to help that child, help that family with whatever mistake that occurred, and help them move through that to be positive citizens of our community. So our goal is not to come in here and be scary being police officers. I think Mr. Mayo said it best. What our goal is to be here to make a connection. So we are specialized in training. We receive training to be in a school to work with kids. Again, we're not just two random cops. They're like, oh, you two go to the school. No, we receive specialized training, and we continue to go training throughout our careers. So it's not just like a one-time thing. We're constantly updating on our training because, as you know, having teenagers, they're always into something new every day. And again, when it comes to making a connection, we try to do that in a lot of different ways. You may have seen that really cool police car out front, or out back, I should say. That's a Cardinal Cruiser. You may have seen that on the police Instagram recently. We have our own Instagram that's a little bit separate than the PD's Instagram, where we try and focus on what's going on here in the school community. And again, we have both coaches here at the school. Officer Reich is again involved with our wrestling program. I'm involved with the indoor and outdoor track program here at the high school. So again, our goal is to be a resource for you and for the children here. And again, if you need anything at all, just don't hesitate to ask. We're here for you. All right? Turn it back over to Mr. Mayor. Before I forget, because Mr. Mayo's going to make me remind me to tell you all, another thing we do here too is we have a therapy dog program. So high school, being a teenager can be extremely stressful. So that's another thing we do here. We have volunteers who bring in certified therapy dogs. Kind of like us, not just random dogs off the street. We make sure they are certified and trained because we all know how that can go if they're not trained. And we bring them in, we try and bring them in weekly, sometimes twice a week, 3 times a week, just to put a smile on kids' face and help de-stress a little bit because high school, and again, being a teenager can be very, very stressful. So that's another thing we do here too. Don't want to forget that.
They forgot to mention they also teach health as well. So they have a unit that they go in and teach health classes. So it's really great to have Fred and Wally here. Tonight, I had one of our technology coaches, Mr. Richard Baxley, here to talk about, we always do this every time we have a 9th grade parent meeting, talk about Google Classroom and Aspen. Now, if you've been through the school district, you should be fairly familiar with both of those programs, but we thought it would be great to have you get a refresher right tonight, okay? So, without further ado, Mr. Baxley, who's one of our fabulous science teachers as well. Here you go.
Thanks, Ralph. Hard act to follow and so, if you have a student in the district before, Google Classroom should be familiar to you. If you are new to the district or if you haven't seen the Guardian Access on Google Classroom before, this year, if you're not already a Guardian on Google Classroom, you'll receive an invite. It'll look like the screen on the left. It's literally a screenshot from my computer for what the email will look like for accepting an invite. Please check your spam folders. You can even type in your search bar in your email to look for an email that looks like that. When you click accept the invite, if you have a Google account, it'll have you get classroom email summaries, click accept, and then it'll bring you to a page that looks like this. Your options as a guardian pretty much are, you get to pick whether you want weekly or daily emails, and what time you want to receive the emails. And you'll get, whatever you pick, you'll get summaries, either daily or weekly, that kind of go over everything that's going on in your kids' Google Classrooms. They have one Google Classroom for each of their classes. You can change the settings again just by going back into that email and clicking that link again, or you can go to classroom.google.com/gs to adjust these settings. When you get an email summary, so it'll kind of look like what's on the right. It'll start at the top with links to each of the classes, and I'll show you what that will look like in a minute. And then it'll kind of go for missing assignments, and then upcoming assignments, and then new postings and things like that. I want to point out that missing does not necessarily mean your student actually missed it. It's like, for example, I posted an assignment, my summer work test, to let all my students know what date it's going to be on, so it pops up on the calendars. It shows up as an assignment in the Guardian view as well as in the Student Zone Google Classroom, but they're taking a test in my class. They don't have to submit anything for it. So if they don't go into that assignment in Google Classroom and click mark as done, it'll keep showing up as a missed assignment. All they have to do is go in and click mark as done, but that's on their end. So if you see missed assignments, it's not necessarily a missed assignment. And you can even go in and take a look at them because if you click on any of the classes, it'll bring you to kind of a preview page for what's going on in that class. It'll show the classwork. So like again, here's for my AP Environmental Science classes, Unit 1 Ecosystems, and it's showing resources that are posted are kind of grayed out, and then active assignments, things that, that students need to submit stuff for, are showing up that bright green color. And you can kind of scroll up and down, you can click on them. If it has resources to open or documents to open, you can open those and kind of see what's going on. You can see the due dates there too. If you don't have a Google account when you're invited to one, so like let's say it's your Hotmail or something like that, and it's not linked to a Google account, you won't be able to change your email settings, and you won't be able to see the classroom stream summary. You can create an account that links to your email. You don't have to have it be a Gmail. So if you have a Hotmail account, all you have to do is create a Google account that links to your Hotmail account, and then it'll give you access to changing email settings as well as seeing that classroom summary. Okay, so we also had a science teacher make a document that's a more in-depth guide than this brief 5-minute overview I'm giving you. It's a guide to parent guide to Google Classroom. Kind of gives you a more in-depth look, see what kind of settings there are. I'll leave that up for a moment if you guys want to take a picture. And it should link to a document that opens right up for you guys, so you can see what's going on. So as far as Aspen Portal, so again, if you have a student in the district, you should already have a login for Aspen from a parent side. If you're new to the district, you will receive an invite, or should have already received an invite for that login information. If somehow you lost your login credentials or you're having issues accessing it, that email, portal_support@greenwich.k12.ct.us, that's what you email for any issues that you might have with Aspen. Any parent accounts have to be dealt with down at Havemeyer at our central office. And so if you email that email address, they'll help you get connected to your account. Otherwise, you would go into to log in with your credentials. And from the parent side, so again, you've probably seen what it looks like for elementary and middle school. High school is going to be a little bit different. It's going to look pretty similar to middle school, but just with a couple differences there. Again, down on the left, you're going to see recent activity, and it'll show all of your kids. So if you have multiple kids in the district, you'll see recent activity for each one. Progress updates and marking period grades will show up over here on the right under published reports. So when those progress updates and marking period grades are published, you'll see files, media files pop up. You can click on those to open those. And then when there are grades, so the dummy account that I was using doesn't have any grades in it, but grades will pop up over here, and you can change it by user and see some recent grades that have gone in. So when you log into this, there's that was the landing page on Pages. And then if you look up at the top left there's the Family tab. So if you click on the Family tab, this brings up a list of your kids in the district. When you click on each one of your kids, so you would click on like the first one, AAA, GHS test. Once you click on that, your child there, you can click on daily attendance to see what their attendance has been, tardies and absences. You can click on transcript to see kind of an overview of their quarter grades. You can click on their schedule to see what their schedule looks like. It'll even highlight the day. If you're checking it that day, it'll show you what their schedule is for that day. And then notifications down at the bottom. So this is one where if you want to change the notifications, first of all, you can get notifications over email if there's an attendance issue. So if they're marked absent from a class, it'll email you. And then down on the bottom there, you have to click the checkbox to subscribe to it. But this will give you an email if a grade goes in under the threshold that you set. So right now, down here, there's a 0. But for example, if you wanted to plug in 60, So that would be like anytime they get a grade lower than a 60% on any assignment, it'll send you an email saying like, hey, they got lower than a 60% on this assignment that just got put into the gradebook. And that'll be email notifications. You can turn those on and off in that notification tab down at the bottom there. If you want to do a deeper dive into their academics, so that these are my two kids, Charlotte and Emma. So if you want to do a deeper dive into their academics, you would click on academics, and then over on assignments, and then you can, click on academics and click on the class. So see Spanish 2A is highlighted there. And once you click on the class, then if you click on assignments, it'll show you a list of all the assignments for that class that you clicked on, and what grades they got on those assignments, if they've been graded yet. Otherwise, the landing screen here shows you an overall performance for each one of the classes. I blanked on my daughter's grades right now. So when you go to click on a class and then click on assignments, and you see each one of those assignments, what grades they got. So we use a set of codes for classes here. So if they got a grade for an assignment, you'll just see the grade. But you might see some letters. So here's what they would mean. An A in the grade book means that they were absent, and that assignment or whatever it was didn't get turned in, but it was excused, meaning they can still make it up. It's just counting as a 0 for the moment because it didn't get submitted because they were out the day that maybe they were doing the lab or a class activity or something like that. And our policy is for every day they're out, they have 1 day to make up those missing assignments. If they cut class, if it's an unexcused absence, it counts as a 0 and cannot be made up. If it's NS, it means the student just didn't submit the assignment, and it's a 0. And then it's teacher policy, whatever their classroom policy is for work, whether they get it for 50% or they have a certain number of days or whatever something, so that would be NS. TBG means that it was submitted, but just the teacher hasn't graded it yet. EX would be exempt. This would be special circumstances, like if there was a family emergency or something, and the teacher chooses to exempt them from an assignment, meaning that they don't have to make it up and it's not calculated against them in the grade book. There's some other custom grades that teachers can make, like I use one called not submitted grade extended for a student that, just to show them that they're missing something, but I'm not going to calculate it as a 0 so it doesn't like tank their grade, even though I know they're going to make it up. There's a calendar tab. I think it's pretty messy. I think Google Classroom is a much better way to keep track of that. By the way, all of your students using Google Classroom, their Google Calendars tied to their school Google account will show up all those assignment due dates. In Aspen, it kind of tracks those, but it tracks them every single day that assignment is active and can get really noisy really fast, and I don't recommend using it. And then what to tell your kids if they need tech help. So the GHS Media Center has a tech help website. If you go to the tech help website, right here. So again, it's on the Greenwich High School website, teaching and learning, library, and tech help. It gives links, information, stuff on where they can find assistance with whatever tech help they might have for any of the different digital tools or hardware that we have. In terms of just overall help, the Media Center is always a great place to go if they're having trouble with their Google Classroom or their Aspen or Noodle Tools or something like that. Students can go to the Media Center for software help. If they have an issue with their devices, like a Chromebook or something, that help is available during lunch block in the Media Center, but only during lunch block in the Media Center. There also are a limited amount of one-day loaner Chromebooks that can check out like library books from the library and return at the end of the day. I think that's it. You guys have any questions about tech stuff? Where do we start? I can't answer, right? There's a lot of details in there. Aspen's got a lot of settings and filters and fiddles and stuff. I tried to give you the, I was trying to shoot for 5 minutes, probably less than 10-minute version. Okay. Oh yeah, question?
So this presentation is being filmed right now, and it will be in 2 days. It will be posted on the website. So I know we speak a little fast sometimes, and so you can review this presentation as many times as you want. I suggest once, or if you're having trouble going to sleep that night. But it'll be up, it'll be posted, and so please go back and take a peek if you think you missed something. This is a transition for us. We used to have a system called Schoology, and Google Classroom is replacing Schoology for us here at the high school. So it's new for us, well, for some of us. And I know it's not new for you all because you use this at the middle school. So we have yet to download all the names into Google Classroom, so you've yet to get that invitation. When you're about to get the invitation, you're going to get an email from myself or my assistant, Mrs. Wilson, to tell you to look for that email. So then you'll know that you're ready to go with Google Classroom. Okay? So that's a big transition for us in terms of going from one portal to another. But I think it's going to be a lot cleaner and a lot better for everyone. It's easy. Google Classroom is so easy to use. It's so easy to navigate. So speaking of transitions, we didn't talk about that yet tonight. I know that this is a big transition for you all, and I know that because I've had to make that transition with 4 of my own children. It's not easy coming to a large comprehensive high school that is it's just big. But as Mr. Barrera pointed out, there are 5 houses. Each house has a house administrator. That is your child's principal, pretty much. And the most important people in that house are the school counselors. So it would behoove everyone in this room to make a connection with your child's school counselor. They will be getting to know your children as we move through, as they move through the grades, and they will be the ones writing their college recommendations. So the more that you get to know your school counselor and your children get to know your school counselor, the better off they're going to be at Greenwich High School. Because once they get to know them, they'll be better able to help them and prepare them for the courses that they're going to take in the next 4 years, but also to prepare them to select a college when that time comes. And I'm already kicking you out here, you just got here, look at that. So that would be my advice to you. Please make that connection. You make that connection with the school counselor. And if you have questions, those would be the people that you would go to first. If you have academic questions about a class, go to the teacher first, of course. But after that, go to your assigned counselor. They're great people to work with, and you'll enjoy the conversation, if not anything else. Okay, that's our presentation for tonight. We did that in 45, 50 minutes. I will stay. Mr. Pereira, our 2 resource officers, Mr. Baxley will stay here and answer questions if you have them. Otherwise, everyone else, if you don't have a question, you may get out. But please stay if you have a question. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it.